I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It was another dry week in the world of Sulfur. I don't have much in the way of news at all. I mean, basically nothing happened of note that I could think of or that I saw. No tweets on X, no Reddit posts. I don't even think there has been a Reddit post in the past week. And all the Discord conversations in the Sulfur general have been very strange. A lot of begging and pleading for the next update, which is valid because I'm in the same boat. I've gotten to the point where I'm like, what do I make content on? I've made content on pretty much everything in this game. If you can think of something I haven't made content on, let me know. But that's not the point of what we're doing here today. I still wanted to do the Susu. Susu Week 6. That's the Sulfur Summary where we talk about everything that has to do with Sulfur and everything else that happened in the world around us that I deem important, that I think was important. So I want to do something different so that I'm still providing something of quality. And what I wanted to do was, I think it was 2 weeks ago, we discovered that you can listen to the upcoming music in the game. At least that's what I assume it is. I can't say for certain exactly what that music is. Could just be placeholder, but I mean, it fits the vibe of everything. And we've already listened to Deep Woods tracks, so go back to, I believe, Susu Week 4 if you want to listen to Deep Woods. We might poke around in there and see if there's different tracks for different levels. Perhaps the last level of Deep Woods, which I believe in dev mode it's called Forest, right? Yeah, perhaps the last level of Forest will have a different song. I don't know why I'm saying perhaps so much. But, so this is obviously going to be a lot of spoilers in the way of music and loading screens. And I don't know what else. There could be like a little voice clip in there saying, hey, you scumbag, knock it off. Because I don't know if they knew that we'd be listening to some of the tunes. And they are, again, presumably the songs you'll listen to when you play through them. But there's a couple things I want to talk about with Sulfur. I got a couple of insider information. Well, one. I think I have one. I had to put my notes over here, so it might get a little weird. But let's just get into it. Let's crank up the tunes here. I'll be talking the background, like I'm just going to do the Susu as normal while we jam out, react to the music, see what the vibe is, but I could have just put the music up, but that feels like just stealing, their work, right? That's like those really lame reaction channels that just sit there and go, yep, cool. I wish there was some Sulfur content for me to yep, cool to. So let's check out Coast. Usually takes a second. I don't know what Coast is supposed to be, or if this is even a level that's going to be in the game. I don't know what this is. If you poke around in the dev mode, things get weird. Let's see what's going on here. This is giving Deep Woods music when we heard it. It's giving the Deep Woods just a little bit. Okay. I want to get into it a little bit. I keep saying a little bit. It's becoming repetitive. Is this the Deep Woods song? I don't know if Coast is going to make it to the game. I don't know what this is. It's not on the roadmap. Excuse me, I have a disease. This sounds like the Deep Woods music. Whatever it is that we listen to today, we just have to remember, for one, you can go and listen to it on your own if you'd rather not have me yapping. Again, that felt wrong to just upload that by itself. And for two, whatever it is, it was made by some very talented musicians. And I've dicked around in here a little bit. This is sounding like what we heard when we listened to the Deep Woods one. That is. Okay, so let's go ahead and, only one way out. Only one way out, and that is through there. But I did find out something interesting. I actually got a message from Perfect Random, one of the devs. I'm not going to say who, because they didn't give me liberty to say that. I'm just not going to say it. But I did find out for certain that the social media for Sulfur, as far as like YouTube channel goes, their X is run by the devs. So, because I've mentioned that a few times. I'm like, I don't know if it's run by the devs, dude. I don't know who's doing it. I've said weird stuff like that. Here's Fortress. Yeah, see? You thought that was a lost cause. Hopefully that's not overpowering me too much, but I don't think it will. Hold on. We'll get back into that. I'll try to remember. I like that. Imagine I'm just like listening to a bunch of copyrighted music that they threw in here, like inspired music. Like, this is like a Prince of Persia soundtrack or something, which wouldn't even be copyrighted unless it was the movie. Dude, if this is a copyrighted song, it's a banger. I don't think so, though. Bro, that is going really hard. I'm already imagining by the look of the loading screen and the music that Fortress is going to be some Asian-inspired temples, probably Japan. I don't know. I don't want to speak out of turn here. And a lot of higher ground, lower ground, kind of like Town, but more parkour than Town is the vibe I'm getting from this song. Like, we're running through, and we're, you know, I feel like it's going to be a really high-paced, fast-paced Town kind of vibe, but with the parkour involved. Ooh, you hear that? Again, if you haven't watched me rank the songs in Sulfur, I don't know how to react to music. So it's, ooh, that was cool. Like, I love music. I'm a human being that can hear, thankfully. And even if you can't, I know vibrations are dope for the deaf folks out there. But I've been a human my entire life, so I've always loved music, but I was never encouraged to learn it. Every time I wanted to learn it, my mother was like, "You're an idiot," and just terrible about the whole situation. So I never got a chance to really get into it. I know a little piano. This is hype. This is some good shit. What is that? Do 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 do. That I could see that getting stuck in my head, just like the Dungeon song, easily. It still keeps that hip hop kind of beat to it, that fun hip hop vibe. Ooh, it's really picking up now. I wonder what enemies we're going to see in Fortress now that we know the vibe a bit. Like, I don't imagine it would just be humans, right? Because that, I mean, it could be, but I mean, guys shooting guns in like some temples and shit is still kind of dope. That's really cool. It's such a fleshed out track too. Clearly the musicians that worked on this game went freaking hard. They went so hard so early on. And they were, I don't know, they must have been inspired. Oh, but I can confirm the YouTube, the X, this and that is all run by one of the developers. I don't know how much the other dudes have a say in it, but I won't say who. I will say it might not be Sklet. I thought it was Sklet, but I don't think it is. I mean, I know it isn't. Shit. Okay, that's all I'll tell you. Otherwise, just know, if anything comes from the Sulfur YouTube channel or the X, it is from them. And they also have a Japanese Sulfur X, so check out Sulfur JP if you want to. There might be some different stuff on there than what you'd get with the English one. This song keeps going, right? We've not heard this. This might be where they loop it right here, though. Oh, that's just the end. Okay, we listened to the entirety of the song. That was really good. If I'm ranking them, which I'm not, that's number one, easily. I like that more than the Deep Woods track. I don't think Coast is going to become a thing. I think at one point they were going to make Coast, but, I mean, there was nothing on the loading screen. That looks like some really base-level, simple art. Not that any art is simple. And, yeah, so I don't know. And then it would just pull the same track from Deepwood. So that might actually be like a placeholder track for the songs. So I don't know if it's Deep Woods, but that Fortress one, which, I mean, that song has to belong somewhere. But that Fortress one was, wow, that was cooking. Okay, so we don't have too many levels, to be honest. But we'll wrap back around. We still have stuff to talk about. I'm so sorry. And try some of the different areas. Probably like the last ones to see if there's like a boss fight or something. I don't know what Sauna Pools is. Oh, there's a boss right there for sure. Let's do this one. Imagine one of these works. Whoa. Brother. That's like the funkiest shit ever, dude. What? Okay. Oh, that's kind of like a mystery vibe to it, but like a lounge vibe too. It's so chill. Holy shit. This might be my favorite song in the game, and it's kind of veering away from everything else in the game. It's not as hip-hoppy, but it is so chill. I mean, that is a vibe, dude. And I love hip-hop, don't get me wrong. But it might be my favorite that I've heard from this game just because it's a little different, but still fits the vibe. It's almost got like that mystery vibe we get from Sewers. The songs in Sewers has a mystery vibe to them. I still feel like we're getting that a little bit here. But then it's got its own, like, chillness to it that we don't... Where else do we get that level of chill in the soundtrack? I don't know. Dude, when the guy was making this, he had to, like, bandage his fingers up after. Whoever made this, the guy or gal, like... Or, you know... They had to bandage that shit up because they were just bleeding onto this track. This was an open wound made music. Oh. I would go as far as say any Sonic game would be happy to have this in there. If you know me, I hold Sonic music to the highest degree. I think Sonic music, there is no better. Oh. I really, really fuck with this track, like big time, dude. Oh my god, we're just bringing in the horns and just like we still have the pan flutes. What the? Like I could see us in a detective office or a seedy bar or like a hookah lounge. Like this could be just anything. And now I think it is undisputable proof that we are listening to music. Because, like, why would they cook so hard on this? Unless they don't own the music. But I don't think they would put the game out with dev mode available if they didn't own the music. So I have to make the assumption, and this is the last time I'll say this. I could be a little repetitive at times. It's how my crazy brain works. Wait. I think they're going to cook in a second. I think it's building to a big cookout, especially with that bass. I think that bass is going to get extra crazy here. Wait for it. That's something we've never heard in the soundtrack. It's like someone singing that. Oh my goodness. I mean, the layers to this song is insane. Insane. It's so good. Incredible work. Incredible work. Do I really have nothing else on here about Sulfur? I think the only thing I had was that. I have not seen anything. There was some rumblings in the Discord about... I didn't really understand it. Oh, wait. Oh, that was the ending. There were some rumblings in the Discord. I almost want to listen to that song again. I mean, we're checking Sauna. We may have to check all the levels of Sauna if we have enough time. Because I gotta see if there's anything else even remotely like that. Now, Caves has... What did we find out? Has 3 songs? Or 4? Caves has a lot. And then Town has 3, I think. I know it's been a while since I've listened to the whole OST. Yeah, and then Sewers has like 2 or 3. So it's like... The odds of there being another song to start when you load in are pretty good. Because that's when the song be kicking off. Okay, what's next? Oh, I cannot. Wait. We could jump into the boss. That's probably a different song. But in this game, the boss music usually starts once you enter the boss room. I'm afraid of it being the same song, so we'll wait. And we'll check out Canyon? Whatever Canyon is? Uh-oh. Did we get deep woods? No. We're getting Canyon right now. And this is giving me a very open vibe. Almost like a big area in the sound taking forever to, you know, bounce back and forth, to speak metaphorically. Ooh, and then you're kind of getting that little, like, country vibe to it as well. The bass is doing a little something back there. The bass be doing something back there. I can hear it underneath it all. I'm kind of waiting for that build-up because that's my favorite part, is when the song really kicks into gear. If you can't tell. Hopefully I don't go fucking dumbface again on any other track. I'm sorry. I love the music in this game. The music in the game might be my favorite part of the game. And there's a lot of favorite parts of this game. It's one of the best games I've ever played. But the music alone is enough to, like, just catch you and hold you and make you feel special. Okay, so this is a very ominous, quiet vibe. I thought it was going to go, I guess, because the last two songs we listened to, wait. No, it's not going to come in hot this far in, right? That would be insane. No, I think it's going to stay that kind of calming vibe. But what? Oh yeah. So I mean, like the things they were saying, it's so scatterbrained. The things they were saying in the Discord was the other day, and I'm probably not even going to look for a screenshot of it because it was so random. But they said it's Friday, patch day. Someone did, and then they were like, "Oh, I mean next Friday, the 7th." So they were rumbling about the 7th. I don't know why. I have no damn clue what the 7th has to do with anything, but I mean, the devs didn't shut down the conversation and say, "What are you talking about?" So, I don't know. But they could have just been farting around. Could have been a little fart sesh, man. How am I to know? Okay, so now we get to the weird stuff. Well, kind of. I hate that I have my notes over there, because I usually have them right here, and then I'll cut out where I read them. But obviously, I would have to end the song, and that would be weird. So I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that, because we're vibing. I did have to skip Witchfire Wednesday this week. It was unfortunate, but I've been dealing with City Hall of all things, which is something I've never done in my life. And it was weird. They're coming after us because of a plant out front that we didn't plant. And it's like old and like it's going to be expensive to get rid of. So we had to do some stuff at City Hall, and I got jammed up. All right. There's no parking down there. I don't live in the heart of, like, no one does. The only people that live there are office drones that are stuck there for 80 hours a week, and I'm not one of those people. So, like, going deep into the heart of one of the biggest metropolitan cities in the world, yeah, it took up a lot of my day. Unfortunately, I wasn't happy about it. So I did have to skip Witchfire Wednesday and make the tough decision of what to do in the next day, and I think I made the right decision. I don't know. But what that I don't know. Even the notes are all scatterbrained. I'm not gonna lie. This song feels like it's mostly meant almost as like a transitionary area, which would be interesting. That begs the question, like, could there the possibility of a different hub be a thing? Because when we looked in the dev kit before, I'm not going to spoil anything, but there was definitely some stuff in there that I was like, And I'm really not going to spoil anything outside of the music. I got a little going. And if you were on the same wavelength, maybe you'll know what I'm talking about. But could Canyon be a different hub of some type? Because this doesn't get me inspired to do anything. I'm actually going to end it. I'm not vibing with it. It feels very much like a background. And it feels it feels less iconic, you know, and that's messed up. But I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it's because it had to follow up those other 2 tracks. That was very. I feel like maybe it would work better as I'm playing, but. And the Deep Woods one was kind of like that too. So it might fit better well to the environment than it does to just like your normal ear listening fun. I think that's where I'm at. There's only 2 areas for Canyon, which would make that the smallest one. I think it might be an intermissionary area, or like maybe this is the hub, and then Canyon 2 brings you into desert. I don't know. And you also see I put some gameplay up here. I don't know if I mentioned that. I don't think so. But this is desert. And I believe this should have its own song. It's kind of having a deep woodsy intro, though. Wait, have we heard this? This feels reminiscent. I don't know. I don't think we've heard it. But it seems like it's going to take a bit to get there. So what I wanted to say was, this was it's a crazy week for game releases. I mean, we're looking at Monster Hunter Wilds. It's fully released. That's a game I've covered on my other channel, the Rebel Dottie, which I love the Monster Hunter series, so that was awesome that released. I unfortunately couldn't get a key for it. I reached out to Capcom, but like, dude, it's like breaking records on Steam charts for like concurrent players. Like, it's no. They weren't looking for me. They were looking for Shroud and his older brother. I don't know. Hopefully at some point I can get my hands on it, but I don't know. It's up in the air, man. And then there's also Ratatan, which is a really cool upcoming roguelite that just went into beta. I haven't been able to get my hands on a key for that either, unfortunately. And that one looks cool. It's like a roguelite mixed with a rhythm game. So I think it'll kind of be like Crypt of the Necrodancer or whatever that game was called. Oh yeah, this is definitely new. I think Desert might be going for more of that sewers vibe of like ominous gameplay. Is that a soccer goal? What is that? On Desert 5 there. That almost looks like a soccer goal. But maybe it's like leading into like a cave or something? Or like going underground for Desert 6 maybe? But yeah, that game looks dope. And then also, I only learned about REPO right before I started recording because Sulfur, the X, I'm just going to call it Twitter, dude. X was a stupid name. Elon Musk is weird as hell. I don't want to get political because, like, apparently he's a politician now, which is like, now if I talk shit on you, it looks like I'm picking a side. I'm not a political guy, but he's fucking weird, all right? He named his kid XYZ, right? The guy's a nut job. I'm going to be honest, he's a nut job. But they tweeted out something about repo, and that looks pretty cool. So, I mean, another game that came out this week. Obviously, Ratatan is in beta. And there's some other cool games coming out, honestly. It's really exciting time for games. I didn't realize March was the hot month. And March, end of February, March was when the hotness starts to drop. But I did get a chance to play Unyielder, which I think was this week. It might have been last week. But that game was really cool. If you haven't watched that video, it is right here on the homie dot. Check that one out because it's a roguelite mixed with a boss rush. Now, if you like Sulfur, that's a roguelite mixed with an extraction shooter, and then it makes goodness. So roguelites just seem to work with anything, and it worked really well with Unyielder. I played the demo. I really liked it. So check that shit out, punk. Also, Critter Crossfire. I feel like I'm just listing off, like, I think I'm forcing it. And I am a little bit, because, like, what else is there to talk about? This song does not have me jiving. It's definitely another one of them background tracks. Unfortunately, we are running out of songs. Wish there was another way out of that. There might be, but I don't think so. I think you get soft locked once you enter that loading screen, because we're not supposed to be in there. We're breaking boundaries, the lines, we're crossing them. But yeah, Critter Crossfire is a roguelite mixed with turn-based shooter. I also did a video on that. Surprise, surprise. That one's not out yet. But I think there's a demo. I believe there is. I can't remember yesterday. That's how wild my night was as far as sleep goes. So that's it. That's it in general, unless there's something on here I'm not seeing. We can go through and see if maybe we start at 4-7, see if it's the same track, or we'll get lucky and hear a different song. This is the Deep Woods loading screen, by the way. No, this is the same song. I have hopes for that boss level. I think it was Sauna to have a different song, because, man, maybe it's hopes or it's hopium. That's what I want. It's what I want most in life, is to hear more great Sauna tracks. But what I did instead of Witchfire Wednesday was on Thursday, I checked out Splitgate 2, which is in beta, or alpha. It's in alpha, which is such a wild time we live in. Splitgate came out the gate pretty hot. People were enjoying it, and then it died immediately, and then they had the goal to make another game. I'm gonna assume Coast is not gonna have anything. Let's check it. It's literally got boss in the name here. Let's see. Worst case scenario is we have to listen to that amazing song again. But I don't think so. I'm not hearing anything. Could it be you have to enter the boss room for the music to start in general? There's a good chance, because that's usually how it works. And it could be the same boss music we get from the other bosses. Damn. At least we learned something. That's nothing. This is nothingness. I'm going to assume it's going to remain nothingness, and you have to enter the boss room. Damn. So that tells me just playing the last tracks of them is probably not going to make a difference. So we're going to have to try to guess, get lucky, and then hopefully hear another song. If not, you could try to find them on your own and let me know if there is, because I really like the Sauna music. The Sauna and the Fortress music, they were vibing with me big time. But Splitgate 2, yeah, comes out the gate hot, the first one, and then just dies. Everyone stopped playing, including myself. I still to this day don't know why I stopped. I think it was just like the game lacked personality. Let's do City 4. I think it's the same one we heard. I believe so. Let's listen to it a little bit again. These are their favorites. These are the big bangers here. But Splitgate 2, I will say, is very fun. I want to see what they do with it. They're pretty much just experimenting with all the modes they can get their hands on. And I had a great time. So if you like a competitive, but also leaning casual, it kind of leans casual on the competitive side of gaming. It's pretty easy breezy and fun. So check it out. It reminds me of old school Halo mixed with old school Call of Duty. Like, I think the best analogy I could come up with while playing it was like, I feel like I need a Mountain Dew and a bag of Doritos right now, because that was just the vibe. And it was fun with friends, too. I had chat come join me. So if you're not following the Rebel Dottie, you might not see those streams. And if you're not following this channel, you might not see the streams I do over here as well. So, I don't know. You're supposed to, like, yell at you. I'm supposed to yell at you to subscribe. So go ahead and subscribe to both of those if you want in on the action. Because at some point, something multiplayer will come along in Sulfur, hopefully. And the only way you'd be able to play with me is if, you knew I was streaming. Have we heard this? I don't think so. I don't think we've heard this. Maybe. My brain is absolutely mush right now. If we have, I didn't hear it enough to totally remember every part, and I think I remember this. Either way, I'm loving this song. I think this one fits in the most with the current soundtrack, whereas in Sauna is in like a league of its own. Let's get to Sauna, man. I gotta hear that shit again. That might just be my new theme song. You might just, every time you see me, you'll hear that. You'll start humming it. I'll start humming it. We'll all have a great time. But that's what Splitgate 2 will also offer you, is a great time. So check that one out. It's only an alpha for like, when this goes up, it'll be an alpha for like one more day. So you don't even have to watch me play it. I just would recommend checking it out, because every game deserves a second chance. Off the top of my head, I can't think of any sequels that hit it as hard as that one is, but I'm sure there was one out there, one or two. Shit, Call of Duty didn't start getting really good until like Call of Duty 4, right? That's what the people will tell you. Okay, let's do pools. We did 4 for City last time. Let's do pools 3. It's the same song, but that's okay. I think this is probably the extent we're going to be able to listen to these songs. This one's going straight. I'm ripping this one. I'm stealing this shit. 100%. Yeah, that's like all I had for gaming. I guess this would make for a good outro. I mean, I have been obsessed with like Pokemon card open people. But that's not a very good conversation, is it? I can't stop watching them. I don't know what it is. They throw like thousands of dollars at Pokemon cards every video. They go around to like the events and just like rack up these cards, and I'll watch them spend $6,000 that I'll never even hold in my hands just to see cards I've never seen. And it's so cool. I don't know why. It's addicting. Don't do it. Stay away. Also, the Shrek 5 redesign, I don't think it's that bad. I think people are overreacting. All right? It's a little weird, and it was I don't want to say jarring, but I was like, huh? It's a little different. But I think Shrek 5, it doesn't look that bad. I think it could still be a goofy, good, fun little time. So, I don't know. I haven't watched past the second Shrek, so I can't even talk. I'm not as attached as everybody else. That's like all I had. That's it. Honestly, I'm going to keep doing the Susu. It's getting harder. It's getting harder and harder, but that's going to fall on me because I made a commitment. Maybe we need to come up with another abbreviation for Susu so it doesn't only mean SULFUR Summary. Well, technically it's the Susu, the SULFUR Sunday Summary, or the Sunday SULFUR Summary. Just any of those three together. Or we could just keep it as the Susu. Because, like, how many weeks... It feels like there's been more weeks with nothing to talk about than there has been with stuff to talk about. At least this one, we really got to break down the music, which was fun because I love the music. If I'm ranking, I can't decide what I love the most in Sulfur. The gameplay is probably number one. Like, I couldn't keep playing it. I could just go listen to the music on my own, but the gameplay is so sharp and so well made, especially for an indie game. So I gotta give it to that. But yeah, hopefully next week we'll have something, even just like a little bit of news to get excited for, or, you know, I would love to see some content creators make some Sulfur videos, because I could react to those and get more insight on what other people think of this, even if it's you guys, anybody, just somebody else out there, do it with me. Let's make some content together, and let's get out of here. I gotta go. Well, I mean, I don't have to, but what else am I gonna do? Just ramble? Let me just sit here and ramble?